Hey there. Okay, and I just got back from seeing one of the most anticipated films of 2022, and something I said months and months ago when I was doing news articles, and I said when it comes out, I'm going to cover it. And if anything, I'm a man true to my word, and I'm all about integrity.
Integrity.
But real quick, let's start this off with some good old Sprite Zero and some Evan Williams honey, because goddamn, just getting back from that theater experience, I'm gonna fucking need it, and you should too. But in case you're wondering, this is my lazy review of this film called The Whale, starring Brendan Fraser. Yeah, so all I can tell you before I start the intro is expect to be fucking depressed. I actually brought my teenager. He walked out. He's like, "Dad, that was a very depressing and sad film," as you can probably tell by the trailers and the tone of the film and all the hype around this. And okay, let's start this off with something before I go to bed, because I'm recording this at midnight. We got back about 10:30 and had to, do some small errands and stuff. But ready? Let's get this going. I could use that right now.
It tastes so good.
The question is The Whale a good film? Should you see it? Is it worth the hype? Does Brendan Fraser deserve an Oscar? Is this his comeback role? And
Stay tuned to this channel.
let's find out. Enjoy the intro. Yeah, I need some more of that because goddamn. So, some films are out there, whether it's Transformers for big stupid robots or even Avatar for just pretty blue aliens. Other films, you walk out of the theater and the first term I can think about is speechless.
You're speechless.
And even me and my son, just driving home, I had to wait a little while and give it a couple minutes to digest and then talk to him about the film and what was happening. And yeah, some of these themes are probably too heavy for a 15-year-old going on 16. But then again, my kid is getting more mature and he's also appreciating films like this for what they are. But before we get into the accolades of Brendan, because is this his comeback role and is it worth all the friggin' hype? What is the story about?
I'm fat.
As you can imagine by the trailers, Brendan plays a character called Charlie. And Charlie, well, we don't know his exact weight in the film, but the premise is he's a 600-pound man. And he's an introvert like most people of his weight. And what he does is he's teaching students through Zoom meetings and online courses. And what he does is because he's so ashamed of himself and his appearance, as you can fucking imagine, his entire screen is blacked out. So all his students hear is a very calm and soothing voice, and he's given them advice about how to write poetry and literature and things of that nature.
This course is to learn how to write clearly and persuasively. Think about that.
Being a character that is 600 pounds, some health issues arise.
Or a psychological thing. Or a heart attack.
And now when these health issues arise, it puts him into this scare, and he wants to reconnect with his daughter, who is named Ellie. Now, Ellie is 17 years old, and basically, he walked out on her and her mother when she was 8. Not too much of spoilers because you need to know what's going on, but basically, he met a man, he fell in love.
He still abandoned his family.
That doesn't sit well with just people in general, let alone a little girl who is 8 years old.
Why'd you gain all that weight?
Someone close to me passed away, and it had an effect on me.
To say the least, Ellie is an asshole. She's not a good fucking person. She's full of a lot of anger, but you can't blame her considering the past almost 10 years of her life, she hasn't seen her father, heard from him, nothing.
You don't stay in touch with Mom?
She really only tells me things about you,
Why?
because that's all I want to know about.
The next character, which is a very important character in Charlie's life, and he has a best friend who's also a nurse, and her name is Liz. Liz is a nurse and a caretaker, and in some ways she's like his friend, but also she's his enabler. There's only so much Uber Eats you can do and grocery shopping you can do by yourself. Considering this character doesn't leave his house at all, she's doing things for him. It's like she cares about him, but also she's not making his life any better, because if she really cared about him, she'd be doing things like, hey, listen,
Try a salad.
drop some damn weight, start eating some salads. She enables him a lot. She's bringing him meatball subs with extra cheese. She brings him candy. And while she does love and care about him, she's also not helping his life out at all. We get a character called Thomas. Thomas basically comes in the first 2 minutes of the film, and he's one of those people where he just wants to do the right thing. He's kind of like a Mormon type person, and he wants to help out Charlie because he feels like Charlie is dying and he needs Jesus and God, and that's a whole other sub story.
The Lord is powerful.
offer, and he will smote the sinners and send them to everlasting hell.
It's a film about, weight problems, about addiction, about redemption, about looking back on your life choices. And even, it's like, how sorry can you be, and how much would your children be willing to forgive you after you did something that was extremely fucked up?
Are you actually trying to parent me right now?
Who would want me to be a part of their life?
I mean, you could even delve into like other themes, that how many gay men wind up like marrying a woman because they want to have a kid, or they're just at a different place in their life.
It's complex.
In terms of, oh man, the controversy surrounding this, and I'm sure you may have read this a few months ago, was such bullshit, because some people out there are pissed off that, okay, they put Brendan Fraser in a fat suit, obviously because he's not 600 pounds.
Duh!
Big fucking deal, because if this was a 600-pound person, it doesn't make them a great actor. And to say the least, Brendan's performance is fucking breathtaking, and he never gives off the effect of like somebody that's like, phoning it in. It doesn't feel hammy. He feels like a man that's really struggling with his weight, but also really struggling with his depression. Whatever makeup department there is, whatever awards there has to be out there, please by all means give all these people all the fucking awards, because you've seen different actors through different films who wear the fat suit, and you can tell the prosthetics. And there's a couple scenes where he's doing something like actually showering. In the shower, they show him naked. I mean, you don't see Brendan's, other regions and stuff, because as you can imagine,
You want to see my dick?
but he walks around sometimes with his shirt off, and
It's so real.
it's very scary how realistic the skin is, and the hair, and just like the little dimples and wrinkles and stuff. And for all accounts, it looks like Brendan actually gained like 400 some odd fucking pounds.
He had me fooled.
The way he struggles with simple tasks, something simple as sitting up, something simple as like he has to walk with a walker, he drops a key and he can't pick a key up.
No, he's too fat.
Basic everyday things that we take for granted because the guy is 600 pounds. And there's so much of this stuff that's not parody. It's raw, it's disgusting, and it's meant to be that way. He has this one conversation with Liz, and he's messed up and he's all upset, and she hands him, again, instead of a fucking salad, a whole bucket of fried chicken. And they're watching TV, and she's sitting next to him, and the way he's just like greedily eating and stuff, and you can hear the crunching and like the grease on his face, and it's gross.
Really hard to watch.
And you really feel it, because you're like, damn, Brendan was really doing this shit, and it's nasty to look at, but people out there like him, they struggle with this shit.
Depression.
This is how some films hit everybody in different ways. Some people could see a big fat guy, it's disgusting, and laugh at it.
Dance, you fat bitch.
A person like me has known people like him who suffer with addiction and depression. It's not something I'll get into a lot with my channel, but as people get to know me, I had a person years ago that I loved very much, and she was a mother of 2 daughters. The short version was, she looked dead in my eyes and was like, Chris, I feel like both my daughters, their lives would be so much better without me in it. And I'm looking at this woman like, you are beautiful, you are smart, you are funny.
Who would want me to be a part of their life?
Both your daughters need you, and she, like, no bullshit, no lie, no kind of like, like humor behind it, was like,
I'm dead serious.
and sadly, she wound up passing away, and both her daughters, I wish I could tell her to this day, they're not better off without you in it. This is the same thing with Charlie. If you can see by the trailers, he's telling Ellie, he thinks that her life without him is so much better because he's so much of a fuck up. He's so much of a piece of shit.
I'm a loser.
And his only coping mechanism is just eating and eating and eating. And this is a man, like many people in these situations, where he just gave up on life. He doesn't want to live anymore.
You gave up on life, didn't you?
He just feels like the world is better off without him. It's not that he hates people. He has no kind of self-worth whatsoever. And it's really, really depressing, because
He's not a man.
who are any of us to judge somebody that loses a loved one, a kid, a partner, anybody? I mean, I don't want to ramble too much, but I knew people, an older couple, that the husband died, and no lie, the wife, they were married for 40 years. When he died,
She gave up.
she died 2 months later, and the doctor said nothing at all wrong with her. She's physically fine. After losing a husband of 40 years, the will to live was gone.
It's gone.
But the point is, addiction comes in all kinds of ways. That it could be alcohol. It could be, I know somebody who I love. She might see this one day. She has her own insecurities and her own personal demons, and she smokes weed like, every 15 minutes all fucking day long. And I'm not judging her, but that's, some people do. In some people's case, like the case of Charlie here, he just, he eats all the freaking time as his coping mechanism.
I feel sorry for him.
If you want to watch this film, Go in with a certain mindset. Don't expect to like have like a lot of laughter.
It's not a comedy, it's a drama.
But overall, it's a very depressing tale, and it's something that will
Makes you think.
Brendan Fraser, is this his comeback role? I want to believe it is. I want to believe it was so fucking excellent that he would get more roles. Should he win an Oscar? I goddamn sure think he should win an Oscar. If he doesn't win it, I'll be pissed off, to be honest with you, because I mean, his emotions, the crying, the struggling.
He's in pain.
Nothing feels like parody. It feels like a real man that's really struggling with just finding a fucking reason to live.
I need to know that I have done one thing right with my life.
This was worth the hype. This damn sure, out of everything I've seen in 2022, hit me the fucking hardest. I would say it may become my movie of the year. And this may sound funny to you, but it's one of them films where it's so fucking powerful. I'm not in a rush to see it again anytime soon because it's so depressing and it hits home so much. And I'd rather go see Top Gun Maverick again, or some people can hate me, but I'd rather see Avatar again because it's blue aliens and blue water and happiness and good times. And a film like this is one of the films where you watch it and you're like, yeah.
Oh, now I'm sad.
And it proves, like so many people knew out there, Brendan Fraser is just a fucking icon. He can go from doing The Mummy as an action star, he can do comedy with Bedazzled, and now as he's getting older, and it shows just how versatile he really is, and a guy can do drama and serious fucking drama.
He's a legend.
So many different themes in this film. I feel like anybody watching this, everybody can relate to something in this film.
Everyone can relate to it.
Hope you liked my review. As you can imagine, I'm going to have to edit the hell out of this, but I just did a 12-minute one long speech. I didn't rehearse this. I didn't write a script out. This is just me being honest and talking, and
Just keeping it real.
this may be my longest and realest one take of laser review, and
That wasn't easy.
I cannot recommend The Whale enough, and I'm looking forward to see whatever awards this film gets because it deserves.
It's gonna win every award. Seriously.
Definitely go check it out. If you ever see it, please by all means comment and let me know your thoughts on this film.
Did you like it?
Let's pull up Bender and have a good night.
This calls for a drink.
God, that's fantastic. And now I'm going to go to bed and then head back to work.